Hello everyone, my name is Syntax and welcome to another Wayfinder video. In this video, we're going to talk about the upcoming optimization to the game and also new content that they're going to add. On top of that, the new UI, the quality of life improvements, and also drop rate increases and so much more. We got a lot to talk about, so without further ado, let's go right into the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more Wayfinder and for other game guides in the future. Let's go. First thing first, let us talk about the optimization plans they have for Wayfinder. We all know Wayfinder is a little bit heavy side of the things and it sometimes struggles to keep 60 FPS even on a higher end computer. The loading time is somewhat long in some scenarios, even on an SSD. Sometimes you don't know if you'll load into the session or get disconnected. So there's a lot of issues like that in this game, and let's talk about what they're actually planning to do to mitigate or fix this in the upcoming patch. This is a little bit of old news. I'm pretty sure all of the other Wayfinder content creators already covered this, but here we go. So this is an announcement posted by Sir Snuff. So this is the statement. It's time to optimization. We hope players have been enjoying the first iteration of the job board preview. We're actively reviewing and planning adjustment to the system based on the mountains of feedback provided by all of you. Our next patch will include quite a few job related fixes and changes thanks to the community's help. So let's talk about the optimization that they're gonna do. First thing is shader precompilation. Upon starting up, we will now perform shader precompilation right away, as opposite to where you encounter content. This will significantly reduce hitching, stuttering, and input lag when encounter certain abilities, enemies, and biomes. So for those who don't know about shader compiling, it's a little bit technical stuff. Essentially, every 2D model and every FX and VFX is have something called shaders. The shaders are what allows you to see things, and these are just math. If you precompile them, the CPU doesn't have to do it on the fly. So if you already have the calculation already done and stored somewhere in the memory, this your CPU can call them in and then have it right there, and then the CPU doesn't have to do it on the fly. So the CPU load time is reduced significantly. The game might need some time to load up, saying pre-compiling shaders, but it is what it is. Next up is Skylight and Highlands asset optimization. So what they've done is our tech team have conducted numerous phases of optimization in areas like Skylight and Highlands, reducing dense amount of geometry and assets, major HLOD or hierarchical level of details. I'll explain what that means in a bit. Pass was completed to trim the fat, excessive assets causing unnecessary processing burdens. This is a technical explanation of what HLOD is. If you don't want to hear this, skip this part if you want to. HLOD stands for hierarchical level of detail. So hierarchical level of details means there's a hierarchy of things load into the game. To simplify this and explain this in a way that everyone can understand this, when you play video games, everything is rendered into the memory. So your graphic card, right? Essentially your graphic card and your CPU need to calculate where things are, and the graphic card need to render everything onto the screen so you can see it. So when you play a game, the closest things to the player will render at a higher quality than the things are farther away. So for example, if you see a castle in the distance, that castle really doesn't need to be in a higher quality because player can't see it well. So they will render it in a lower poly version of it compared to something very close by. So this is essentially what this means. Also for PlayStation 5 players, got some good news. They'll get the Fatality mode and Performance mode. In the Fatality mode, players will be able to play the game at higher graphical level while sacrificing FPS. In Performance mode, they will sacrifice the graphical fidelity of the game for some more FPS, so you'll be able to achieve a near locked 60 FPS, which is very good for people that really don't care about graphics, can go straight up to more FPS. Improvement to asset loading, we have increased the buffer period for asset streaming regions, which will result in significant less hitching when traveling areas with a lot of details and players. This will have a greater impact on machines that are closer to our minimum requirements than on high-end machines. Then we have the server optimization part, which is I'm actually very excited to. So to sum up what they did, they actually changed the way the backend system works to reduce the server load. So what this essentially means for us players, we'll have a more smoother game experience compared to what we have now. When you travel into Skylight, if you have a huge inventory, you will essentially make the game worse for the players because your inventory is so big, because you've been playing for so long, you have a lot of stuff in your inventory, so they have to load into the server. I'm so glad that they finally managed to figure this out. What this means, we might get increase the accessory limit somehow in the future. We don't know. One can hope, right? Because some juicy new UI update as well, so they are actually changing the way the UI works and the overhaul the UI look. and everything. So we got the new screenshots showing the new UI changes they've done, as this is a comparison to the one we already have compared to the newer one. You can see they have done significant changes to the way the UI handles stuff. Also, most importantly, they have finally added tooltips. Now you can hover over something like a stats, it will show you what that stats actually do and how much percentage it does, which is pretty damn good. On top of that, there's a sneaky new buff to potions. You guys can see that this potion here, the Great Bloodstomp 3 potion, actually the potion effect lasts for 30 minutes, which is great. They actually buff potions. And so yeah, potion buff is coming, it's confirmed, probably in the February patch. Maybe this UI changes might not come with the next patch. They essentially said that they wanted to focus on the optimization part, so the optimization part will come in February, early February, and this UI changes might not come with that, so we don't know when this will happen. But the UI looks good, they have changed it, and they added some quality of life improvements that have been requested by fans for many months. Also, we have some informations about epic accessory drop rates increases from bosses. Again, we don't know exactly a lot of details about this, so take this with a grain of salt. So a rare accessory drop chance reduced from 91.5% to 60% to get an epic accessory increase from 8.5 to 40%. It's actually great. Again, we don't know anything about this at all. This is random screenshot posted by Searchnav, so we have to wait and see if this is actually true. One thing I want them to change is, or actually increase, is the vestiges drop, because it's a little bit annoying to deal with. Increase the drop rate of vestiges. That's something I really want them to do. That's something I would like to see. That's it for today. I have some plans in the future for some other videos that I want to do about Wayfinders. Stay tuned for that as well. Also, I'm going to cover another game called Throne of Liberty. That's one of those games I wanted to play for so long. I finally got to play the Korean version of it. Expect some of the videos about that game too. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and stay safe. May the gloom guide you. Sidix out.